Everyone, so welcome to a new video, a little bit different today. I'm going to discuss why are Wolves now actually good in 2026. We're unbeaten. There's various things people have come up with. Could it be a number of things? Yes. But I'm going to go through some individual reasons why I think why. But at the end, what the main ingredient, I guess, is as to why we are doing so well in the Premier League and in the Cup as well. Yeah, literally going, what was it, January, February, March, April, going 8 months without a victory in the Premier League in 2025. At number one, the Pope. I don't know if you saw this story. This is brilliant. So a lifelong Wolverhampton Wanderers fan has attributed the team's change in fortune to meeting with the Pope. Jim Sharma, 65 from Wolverhampton, was offered a chance to meet the Pope while he was over there. And it was around November time he met him. And he simply said to the Pope, look, Wolves, my team, are doing terrible. Here's a Wolves shirt with Pope number 1 on. You know, can you try and change our fortunes? And apparently the Pope said, yeah, like, you know, I'll say a prayer for you. And yeah, and look, it is funny how this all come out, and then all of a sudden, after he met the Pope, give him the shirt, that our fortunes have changed. Let's be honest. So there's number one. Is it because the Pope said a little prayer for our team, Wolverhampton Wanderers? Now, I'm not religious myself, but if any Wolves Catholic fans out there probably will say this is one of the big reasons why we've had a change in fortune. So, yeah, fair play to the Pope for doing that. No idea how this fan got to meet him, but he did. And, yeah, lifelong Wolves fan. May have been the reason why our fortunes have changed, giving that shirt to the Pope. Now, second, which this is a big one for me, is the inclusion into the first team of Matteas Mane. Now, we know he signed a pro deal. He come off the bench a few times. I remember he come off the bench at Chelsea away, which may have been his first appearance under interim manager James Collins. And Rob Edwards continued bringing him on. The big impact was about mid-December, 30th of December, when he come off the bench at Arsenal, got the assist for Tolu. We did lose that game, but that was good. And then he got rewarded his first start away at Liverpool, had a great performance. Then had an even better performance away at Man United on the 30th of December. I remember his crunching tackle on Cunha and things like that. Fearless, and he was really starting to lift the players around him. And then, of course, he gets his first Premier League goal against West Ham United in a man-of-the-match performance, getting the penalty that game as well, and then follows it up with a goal away at Everton. He came on against Shrewsbury, was really good as well, and his interviews have been brilliant. He's obviously got a lot of belief in himself. And even Rob Edwards himself, in a Sky Sports interview pre-Newcastle, said that he has been better than he actually expected.
He's a really good player. As soon as we came in, obviously we knew about him, and we saw in training a lot of quality. And he came on in a lot of the games. I think from the moment he got his first start, there was just something, just a difference in him. Almost like sometimes when you see young players step up from youth teams, they change the way they play. They maybe become a little bit safe. He hasn't done that. Yeah, he hasn't done that. He's played exactly the same way. And in fact, he's maybe taken more risks, more responsibility, which is really impressive for an 18-year-old. He's come up with big moments already. He's shown brilliant, running and personality, a desire, and a lot of the stuff that we need and want. And I think that's rubbed off on a few people as well. So to say an 18-year-old has actually had an impact for us, and in a real positive way, is it's some statement, I think, really. And his ceiling, I don't know. As I say, what he's doing now is not that normal for an 18-year-old. So I think there's a really, really good player there. If he keeps his feet on the ground, which he will do, he's a really humble lad. He's a great young man, and he keeps working as hard as he is. Then the sky is the limit for him at the moment. Yeah,
so he was a bit quiet against Newcastle, but he ain't going to be amazing every game, is he? But he always gives the team something to think about. So Mane is definitely a big reason why our fortunes have changed in 2026. Next one I want to talk about is new players now used to the Premier League. Now, as we know, throughout 2025, particularly the first half of the Premier League season, every week we just kept thinking to ourselves, it just can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
But, jokes aside, like Jeff Shee famously said in his interview in the summer that they'll need, I don't know, a few months to integrate. And do you know what? Apart from Krejci, who did hit the ground running, John Arias has struggled, Chachua has struggled, Tolu wasn't fully fit in his own admission. It took him a while to get fit. Muller-Wolf's been battling with Hugo Bueno in and out and struggled a bit at first with the physicality of the Premier League. So yeah, the players we brought in were struggling, but then recently, especially at the turn of the year, and probably from like the Liverpool and the Man United games onwards, the likes of John Arias and obviously Tolu, who broke into the team. Krejci was always good anyway, as mentioned, and Muller-Wolf got in a bit again. They're all probably started now to be used to the physicality and used to the demands of the Premier League, but unfortunately it is too little too late. But I think that is the reason that our new signings who had zero Premier League experience are now used to the league and are now performing at a decent level to actually be able to play in this squad. But as we know, the recruitment was terrible. We got people in too late and we have now been punished for that reason. We didn't have the luxury of waiting for them to catch up, unfortunately. Next one is system change. Now, the big game where this all started to turn around was Man United away, and we were playing a 5-2-3, if you remember, you know, the two midfielders, a couple of wingers, either side of Strand Larsen or either side of Tolu. And then because of Andre getting suspended and a few other late fitness test failures and people being injured, we had to play a bit of a muddled up system at Man United away. We played the 5-3-2 with João Gomes in the middle, sitting a bit, and then Mane and John Arias playing as like a number 8, both of them, getting up and down the pitch, tracking back, breaking forward, with Hwang Hee-chan and Tolu up front as a 2. And it's worked really well. That is the system we go off now. He does change it in games sometimes, but that is what we play at the moment. And it's just brought players like John Arias to life. It's improved Hwang Hee-chan's form. Tolu seems to be benefiting, having someone next to him in Hwang. So, yeah, I think a system change is a big reason why we've gone unbeaten in 2026 as well. And, yeah, I think that is definitely a big one. Now, biggest reasons for me as well is the fact that Jeff Shee left on the 19th of December. Now, it was rotten, wasn't it? There was protesting against Man United's defeat at home. And, you know, it was bad. And he did that really bad BBC WM interview. And then he had a bit of a spat with the Wolves Council. And he had no longer had a leg to stand on. We got rid of him. Allegedly, behind the scenes, he wasn't a pleasant bloke to work for. And he was very cutthroat and got rid of people who challenged him. That's allegedly. And then Nathan Shee comes in, who, again, look, is just another Fosun employee, which some people weren't happy about, but he's brought apparently behind the scenes, he's brought a bit more of a positive energy to the place, and the people who work there are more happy working under him than they were Jeff Shee. And it gave the fan base a lift as well, because a change needed to happen with the way the club's been run, and Jeff Shee was the spearhead of most of that. So I think that happening late December also give everyone a boost, and give the players probably a boost, and give definitely the fans a boost to try and lift the mood around the place. Another one I want to mention, Rui Pedro Silva. I spoke about this in a video before, but Rui Pedro Silva joined just after the Man United at home defeat where all the protests happened. Now, we know that Rui Pedro Silva had a long time with Nuno before in our successful era, and he had a good time with him at Nottingham Forest, and he's a great coach. He gets players organised. He gets like them knowing what they're doing. He's very experienced in coaching the 5 at the back system and hitting teams on the counter. Like our West Ham win at home, we actually didn't have more possession than West Ham, but we hit them on the break deadly and took our chances, which we used to do a lot under Nuno back in the day. So I think Rui Pedro Silva joining is a massive reason as well why our form has turned. Not straight away, because obviously the Brentford home defeat was poor while he was there, but it started to get better, and we're now seeing the rewards of having him as a coach, definitely. Rob Edwards, he had a torrid start, didn't he? Seven losses in a row, but then now we're unbeaten in, is it 5? So, you know, 2 wins, 3 draws in all competitions, and you've got to give him credit too, because he did struggle at first, but eventually it has worked. So Rob Edwards is another reason, because he got bashed, didn't he? He got proper bashed, and yeah, and now it's becoming good, and he's pretty much saved his job with this run. The last few since Man United, I'd say, because there were people who started to turn on Rob Edwards a bit, understandably, because we hadn't won. Well, we'd lost 7 in a row, hadn't we? And things weren't looking good. But he made the decision to bring Mane in. He made the decision to bring Rui Pedro Silva in, and things started to get better. And he changed the system. Whether it was an accident, I don't know. But also as well, players wanting to move away because they know we're doomed. Is that another reason? Is the reason that John Arias' form's picked up, and like Gomez and Andre starting to play well again, and some players at the back, like Mascara looks brilliant, Sar's improved a bit. Is it because they're playing for a move in January or the summer because they know where we're heading? That's another reason as well. So you can't rule that out. But again, it's a joy as a Wolves fan because we've had such a torrid time for the last 9 months or so. Whatever it is, all those combined I'm just happy it's happening. But I think out of all that I've just mentioned, I think the two main reasons are Jeff Shee leaving, giving everyone a lift, and I think Mane. I think Mane's a massive reason. I think those two are the big reasons why things turned all of a sudden on the turn of the year and why we're unbeaten in 2026. Yes, we've got Man City coming up next, so our unbeaten title might be gone soon, but it's just nice to have a laugh and a joke about it and actually be proud to watch our team. But comment your thoughts down below on what you think of why we're unbeaten in 2026 and why things have turned around. Please like the video, please subscribe if you're new, it really helps the channel. And yeah, I'll catch you next video, everyone, which most likely will be a transfer news update as we are still in the January transfer window. Cheers, everyone.